But first to the breaking news out of Israel, the IDF striking Gaza in the biggest offensive yet. 21 days this has been going on. Let's go straight to Trey Yingst, who's on the ground in southern Israel. And Trey, you told us a short time ago, this is the most that you have seen, the biggest escalation in this war to date.
Absolutely. Over the past several hours, we've been watching as the Israeli Air Force hammers the Gaza Strip with airstrikes. In the distance, you'll hear some explosions. When the sky lights up, that is an indication they are striking targets in the northern part of Gaza. Above me, you might be able to hear the buzz of an Israeli drone trying to pick out the next targets for the Israelis. It's not just the air campaign, though. Also on the ground, the Israelis are pushing forward their artillery units to hammer the eastern side of Gaza as ground forces do enter in a limited but expanded, according to the Israeli military, raid. Now, we should make the distinction here. This is not, according to the military, the full-scale ground operation that is anticipated, but it is a much larger raid than we have seen the past several nights. Along the border here, we've heard tanks firing into the Gaza Strip. We've heard machine gun fire, and sources inside Gaza telling us they can hear those explosions there, even as far down as the southern part of the Gaza Strip. Remember, Gaza's 25 miles long. To give you a sense, though, just throughout the day, what this has looked like, rocket fire still coming off of Gaza 21 days into this conflict, targeting not just southern but also central Israel, sending hundreds of thousands of people to bomb shelters. Guys, back to you.
Trey, can you just give us some idea what you have seen and heard so far? And, you know, if this was indeed the full-scale ground invasion that has been anticipated, how we would know that indeed is happening?
It's a great question, and we spoke today in person in Tel Aviv, Israel's second largest city, with Yoav Gallant, the country's defense minister. And I asked him a number of questions about the expected ground operation, especially about the timing. And he told me that once it begins, this is not a question of weeks, but rather months. You can hear that explosion there, some outgoing artillery fire into the Gaza Strip. This is a very active front line. I can hear the fighter jets overhead. To give you a sense of what we've been hearing and seeing, like I said, you'll see a large explosion and then the sky lights up, a loud boom in the distance. But it's not just here that is facing this front. It's all over Israel, because despite the Israeli airstrikes that have continued since the October 7th massacre of so many innocent people here that kicked off this ground war in the Middle East, there has been continued rocket fire toward major population centers. Just today, a few hours ago, we were taking fire here. Air raid sirens were sounding. You only have about 10 seconds to respond at this location, so we had to rush to a nearby shelter. And in Tel Aviv, they have a little bit more time, but they are facing similar scenarios. And we really should note that while we talk about the bombs and the bullets and the airstrikes, the civilian population here is paying such a heavy price. The psychological trauma of living amid this war 3 weeks in, following a brutal massacre against the civilian population, is so difficult for the Israeli people and for the Jewish state to consume. And inside Gaza, more than 2 million Palestinians there. We are talking with them tonight. A few of them do have the ability to text, despite the fact that communication is down along the Strip. Anyone that has a foreign SIM card is able to get signal off of an Israeli cell tower. And I've been trying to get more color of what's taking place inside Gaza. But as we speak, and you can hear the jets overhead, a ground war is unfolding before our eyes. And Israel's defense minister telling Fox News today this will last for months. Guys?
Trey, it's Janine Pirro here. Now, we've heard most of the day that this is a limited raid and that the heavy artillery comes after this. But there is a report new from Axios that says Israel's war cabinet decided to expand ground operations in Gaza after talks on a possible hostage release with Hamas reached a stalemate, two Israeli officials told Axios. So now it appears, and I'm curious as to whether or not you have any information on this, that this may be, the bigger raid based upon the failure of hostage negotiations.
So I've been working throughout the night talking with Western intelligence sources and also regional sources who are familiar with the hostage situation. Today, the Israelis actually raised the number of hostages being held inside Gaza to 229 people. And as they get more information and proof of life for those Israelis that were dragged into Gaza on October 7th, they will update the number. In terms of the timing of tonight's expanded raid, it's challenging to say exactly why, because this all has to do with the situation on the ground. And I want to just read you a few notes that I took today. Much of the conversation was off the record with Israel's defense minister, but we were able to get some information on the record cleared to report to you now. And I want to take you through the mission of the Israeli army. They give us 4 points of what they are trying to do. They say the first one, the destruction of Hamas's military and governing capability along the Strip. The second one, returning those hostages that are being held. We do understand there are high-level negotiations going on behind the scenes. Remember, already 4 have been released, 2 American citizens and 2 Israeli citizens. The third on the list here, securing Israel's southern arena, where we're at right now. And then finally, deterring Israel's adversaries in the region. And you have to remember, Iranian proxies exist across the Middle East, not just in the Gaza Strip with Hamas and Islamic Jihad, but also in Lebanon with the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah that's fired anti-tank missiles into northern Israel.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.